stakeholders summit. We participated with the different people who are engaged in construction and implementation of projects by the government or in private entity. As well as we also have our most and very brilliant, one of the active directors of DAR, who is now our resource speaker. And I'd like to add a little, it's because that what I heard for this is why I said before that this is a brilliant craftsmanship by no other than our resource speaker, is that this is the first time where a unique mechanism being introduced in the housing industry in the entire Philippines. And they had already successfully implemented this project in the northern part of Luzon. Around 19 to 22 implemented projects. And now they cascaded this in Visayas and in Mindanao. And in Mindanao, it seems that there are more beneficiaries compared than what we live in Visayas. So it's very fortunate enough. I heard also that as we talk with our resource speaker, he is the vocal person in charge of the multi-billion project in Marawi, if I'm not mistaken. So he recommended that development, and also with this, he has lots of experience in the private practice in terms of housing and development, where our agencies in the national government look into. Just like in where we visited in Claveria, at that moment there were concerns and problems with regards to housing backlog, or a little say problem that they have to recover their property from a national agency being mortgaged. Then now they have been given solution. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome everyone, and please give a round of applause to our resource speaker, Engineer Sir Bobby Gavina. Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. And I'm not new to Cagayan de Oro. During the time of Marawi Rehabilitation, I was one of the head of the technical group who made the master plan of Marawi. So I'm actually the head of the, if you remember, the Bagong Marawi Consortium. Yes, ako po yung pinaka-head nila noon. Unfortunately, after magawa namin lahat ng master plan, after 3 months and almost 30 million expenses, inalis din po sa amin ng Marawi. But it's okay. That's part of the game. That's part of the... But prior to this, prior to that stint, I'm actually, so that you will know me better, I'm actually a full-fledged housing developer. I'm a multi-awarded housing developer for 27 years. I was the developer in the year 2009 and 2010. Then, 2014, naaya po ako sa campaign ni President Duterte, and after that, na-addict na po ako. Na-addict po kay Duterte, at ako ay inaaya po sa government service. At nakaka-addict din po pala ang government service. So, when I joined the Duterte government, I told them when the campaign was over and we already ended victorious, I was told to take up a position in the government, but I'm actually declining it because I told them that I have to go back to private practice because nothing will happen to me. And if you're a businessman, you won't even dare to go to government service. But I was persuaded by my colleagues and They even promised me that I can be the general manager of NHA. Unfortunately, I was not able to get that dahil hindi nakakuha ni, if you remember, if you know Secretary Mamunjong, we're supposed to get the TSUD, and then suddenly we got the TESDA, and then I don't like to be in TESDA because that's the traffic is really horrendous, 3 hours away from my place in Quezon City, and I was asked to occupy a position, a real very critical position. That's the 50 billion informal settlers resettlement program in the ILG. That's where we will be relocating 120,000 squatters in waterways and danger areas in Metro Manila. So I headed that at the onset of the third administration for 2 years, and then came Secretary Ed Rosario. He's a good friend of mine. He's my kababayan. Long time friend, sabi niya ganon. He offered me to become director of TSUD, but I declined. But then later on, he offered me to head the technical team of the bagong Marawi Consortium. So after 3 months, then unsuccessfully, biglang nawala sa amin yun. That's another story. But after that, I was the secretary of the DAR, is also part of our group. We are the MRRD group, actually, I'm the National Auditor of MRRD and ECC. So I was asked by Secretary Jan Casticiones to help them in conceptualizing the Farmers Housing Program. I conceptualize program. I'm a civil engineer graduate. I'm a graduate of also of Master in Community Development, and now taking up Master in Development Management in Asian Institute of Management. So, kung titignan mabuti, I truly do I conceptualize program and I do it outside the box. I don't. It's totally unique when I do that. Nung ginawa ko nung nasa DILG po ako for the ISF Resettlement Program, nag-create po ako ng isang program where it's a 250 billion fund. I took it from the Chinese loan. Unfortunately, it was rejected by Secretary of Finance then, Dominguez, because he told me that ang pabahay para sa mga squatters o sa NHA ay nagiging social service because hindi sila marunong magbayad. The collection efficiency of NHA is just a mere 28%. So kahit ano ipautang mo sa mga squatters, hindi babalik yan. So ayaw niya. So nireject niya yun because they want to concentrate. The Duterte government will want to concentrate on the infrastructures. And they did. And it was successful actually. They left behind the housing. The housing is a mere the budget of the housing is mere around 8 billion a year, which is less than 1% of our GDP, our national budget, while the DPWH budget is almost 16% of our national budget. Just imagine how the Duterte government navigated the economy towards infrastructure para makuha niyo yung point. And then I was asked by to continue the story. I was asked by Secretary Jan Casticiones that if ever I will be able to solve the farmers' housing program. Okay, there are 4 sectors of our society na napakahirap kong bigyan ng pabahay. The very first one is the farmer. Why? Kasi ang kita niyan every 6 months lang. Ang isang loan, after 3 months, past due na. Pagdating ng 6 months, foreclose na yan. So just imagine, ang kita ng farmers natin every 6 months, lalo na yung mga sakutulan tinatawag natin. The second one is the fisher folks. Alam niyo naman ang fisher folks, so paano rin ang kita yan? The poorest sector of our society now are the farmers. Dati fisher folk ang pinakamahirap, ngayon farmer na. Kasi isipin mo, farmers, sila ang tinamaan ng fertilizer scam, authorized tarification. That's why they are the poorest at 40% poverty incidence. Considering na ang national poverty incidence natin is nasa 26% lang, they are the way bottom dwellers. That means mahirap pa sila sa mga squatters. Ganun po ang ating farmer. And then, ang pangatlong pinakamahirap are actually the gawan ng socialized housing not just the regular housing, the socialized housing. Yung mga squatters nga dahil ang collection efficiency nila 28% lang, and they always think that whatever housing the government will be given to them are mere grants. Dapat siyang libre para sa kanila. They feel to be entitled to be in this grant of the government. The fourth one, actually, no offense with the community here, or the Muslims community. I'm talking about socialized housing. Okay, in Muslim housing, we have this what we call, hindi po nagbabayad ng interest ang Muslims. So basically, ijara yata yan. And then, the design of the houses must be Sharia compliant, which is wala yung babae, lalaki, and the design is different. So hindi siya mag-fit doon sa socialized housing, which is around 450,000 lang. Ngayon nga, tumaas 580, pero still hindi pa rin nag-fit yung ganung design. And then also, the collection will be a problem dahil hindi ka naman pwede basta-basta mangolekta o mag-foreclose, pupunta ka muna sa elder. So, there must be a different, so kaya ang housing po ng Muslims, will have a different, how do you call this, source, para po klaro yun, dahil nga, say if you put up the interest up front, hindi nakakapot yun sa 580,000 na socialized housing price. So that's the fourth one. So now, inasign sa akin ngayon yung pinakamahirap gawa ng housing, which is farmers. Yeah. Okay. Now we start with the presentation. Bear with me, medyo mahaba ito, but everyone enjoyed this. For your information, I became the speaker. We partnered with League of Municipalities of the Philippines. And for the past 1 year, I became the speaker of all the regional conferences. That means, ipinaniset ko na ito sa 1,500 municipalities. Lahat po, even Cagayan de Oro leg nila, ako po ang naging resource speaker nila. So, all mayors are actually been enjoying this, and they almost a big percentage wants to participate in this program. Lalapit na ako dito. Okay, the rationale of the program is that for the past 9 years, 2006, I already told you this, that they're the poorest sector of society. And the problem with the agrarian reform beneficiary is that since masyadong mahihirap ang farmers, yung binibigay naming lupa, kapag nagka-problema sila, nagkaroon sila ng financial difficulties, unang-unang binibenta yung lupang binigay ng gobyerno na hindi dapat. For 10 years, hindi dapat binibenta yan. So, the TAR actually takes that if we provide housing sa mga magsasaka, hindi nila basta-basta ibebenta o isasangla ang lupa nila. They will have an emotional attachment to the land, at yun nga yung po pwede natin gawin. Ngayon, the housing that we will do is not it's not just a regular housing. It's a multi-sectoral approach. Hindi lang po ito ay gagawa ng housing, kundi we will have to do is what we have to do we'll have a complete access to livelihood opportunities. That means part and component ng ating pong housing, yung pong livelihood component. You will see this, how it will be done. And it will be implemented through convergence of different government agency, DSUD, DA, TESDA, DTI. Because kahit anong tanong ng lahat, bakit gumagawa ng housing ang DAR? Hindi nyo naman mandate, but kayo nakikialam sa housing. Yan. Hindi po talaga namin mandate. That's why we made convergence with the DSUD, which is the mandate nila yan. So DSUD, meron dyan, Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development, Yan. Pero kasi kung titignan mo lahat ng batas ng CARP, meron po tayong lahat dyan sinasabi na dapat lahat ng binibigay po namin, ano ba yung nangyari dyan? Lahat po ng binibigay namin, dapat may homeland at may provision for dwelling units, and also the Magna Carta of the Poor sinasabi na dapat may housing tayo through partnership
Sinasabi kasi.
at ang Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa
Meron po
program
subdivision.
also will become the pillar of balanced regional development. Hindi po urban housing ang farmers housing. Ang farmers housing po is a rural housing. Okay? So malaki pong pagkakaiba po yun. Ang Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development, which is DSUD, ay nakafocus po sa urban development. This one is the rural development housing. Hindi ko ayaw eh.
Rora. Nakatungkol sa Rora.
Malayo na naman. Using
Or agree.
Levit ko lang.
Okay.
Ayun, yung RA 3844. Kasama talaga probinsya. Sarap buhay.
Sarap buhay na talaga. Hindi naman buhay.
Pagkatapos, hindi, pag natapos yung project na yun. Pag almost 50%.
Hindi.
All
Dalawang
over.
unit. Pwede na.
Hindi, nationwide. Sarap buhay. Ang kasarapan na, hawakan dyan mga asosasyon. Bawat subdivision. Wala kikita.
Tayo ng dalawa ng contractor.
Okay. You can see na... Wala. Okay. And you can see na ito po, I've been working for this since December 2019 po, December 4, 2019. Yan po yung time na nagkaroon po ng signing po ang DAR and DSUD to implement the program. Nagustuhan po ito ng Secretary Ed, so we signed December 4, 2019. So imagine how long it is. Almost 3 years na namin pina-fine-tune to. So nakakasigurado naman na kami na na-fine-tune na namin ang to dito.
Wala.
Tsaka ako na po muna ipapaliwanag yan. Okay, there are two formats of the program. The on-site and the off-site. Ang galing ko na lang yun.
Pag ganito, magkano ang rent doon sa Palawan?
Depende sa tenure, tsaka ilang tao.
Estimate.
Hindi ko alam.
Sa Legend.
Okay, there are two formats of the program, the on-site and the off-site. Okay? The on-site is kung saan yung CLOA na binigay ng gobyerno, doon namin ilalagay yung housing. Yan yun. Yan. Ang mangyayari dyan, patong lang sa ibabaw na mesa kayo. Yan. Yes. Okay. Shy. Oh, kalimutan na po muna natin itong on-site para mabilis tayo kasi 40 slides tayo. Dito po tayo sa off-site. Ito po ang dito kayo magiging interesado. Dahil ang off-site po, yung site po, subdivision projects to, located near agrarian reform areas. When we say that agrarian reform areas, andun lahat ng mga beneficiaries. Ayan. At ang site will be donated by the LGU. Okay? Iba po ang pag-design ng subdivision. Subdivision plans, subdivision designs are... Okay. Hindi po ito katulad ng regular subdivision na yung ating mga open spaces. Meron tayong basketball court, clubhouse, may mga playground tayo.
Yung
Hindi po. Ang ilalagay lahat doon sa areas na yon will be livelihood components, enterprise component po ilalagay natin, mga negosyo ng ating mga beneficiaries. Yun po ilalagay natin. Ibigay ko sa inyo yung logic bakit yun ang kailangan natin gawin. Okay na, be patient. Ito po yung standards ng Balay Farmers Housing Program. Ito po yung sample. Ang Balay Farmers Housing Program po, ayan. Kagandahan sa kanya, madali siyang gawin dahil hindi po ito ilalagay sa mga commercial area. Ilalagay po ito sa area na malapit sa mga farmland. That's at least 3 kilometers away from the farm. 3 kilometers away from the farm of the beneficiaries. So hindi tayo naghahanap ng magandang area, always, teka po, break time. Okay. Yan. Okay, the area for livelihood components will be a bigger area dun sa atin pong mga area. It will be around 15% the entire area will be put in the livelihood components. Sabihin ko sa inyo mamaya bakit. Ayan. Ito po yung site development plan niya. Makikita niya. Kakaiba ulit. Ito, equal lahat ng mga sizes ng lote. Wala po tayong corner-corner lot. Lahat ng corner, lahat ng access areas, doon natin ilalagay ang mga livelihood components. Andiyan lahat ng communal garden, may mga solar powered water system. Tapos yung pinakamagandang area, doon natin ilalagay ang trading post, marketing post, processing plant. Okay? Kasi hindi po commercial subdivision ito. This is subdivision for the farmers. Ito yung basic model. Bakit natin ginawa ganyan? Tinatanggal natin yung stigma ng farmer ay nakatira sa barong-barong. As of now, as per survey, 44% ng farmers are living in barong-barong, 47% are living in poorly built houses, and around 9% lang na masasaka natin ang may magandang bahay. Okay. The average age of the farmers now is around 58 years old. In 12 years time, baka wala na tayong farmer. Kasi ayaw mag-farm ng mga kabataan. Siyempre, parang stigma nila yun eh. Farming is like a sign of poverty sa kanila. So what we did is, pinaganda natin yung bahay nila. Yung nakita nyo yun,
Ayun naman. Ayun.
pindot ka na lang. Yan. Ayan, nakita niyo yung bahay na yan, pindot na. So this is the model unit doon sa aming car. Kung mapupunta kayo sa Manila, ito yung model unit. Tingnan niyo naman yung mga specs. May bedrooms, living room, granite kitchen, countertop, powder-coated windows, insulated ceiling. Ito po, offer po ito ng mga Chinese para sa farmers housing. And then, lahat po ng bahay may livelihood, hydroponics for livelihood, and for qualified projects, may solar power. Okay? Sa inyo mga contractor, mag-interesado lang kayo sa